Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom.
In the newsroom is the program. OSBC Television is the station. Yusuf is my name. We are saying a gradual farewell to the year 2024. A year full of surprises, a year full of struggles for Nigerians, a year full of, well, so to speak, economic hardship. You cannot actually run away from that phrase. I have in the studio with me a colleague, Adeleke. Welcome.
Yeah. Good afternoon. What's happening in the newsroom?
Yeah, we cannot shy away from the fact that Nigerians actually battled a lot with hardship as far as prices of staple foods are concerned, and as far as prices of other items are concerned, particularly cement for those parts of cement for those who want to build houses and erect some other structures. And all these are unconnected and not unconnected with the price of the PMS, premium motor spirits. Yes, it is believed that once something happens to petrol, everything goes along with it. It's like when petroleum coughs, all other things also, shiver. That is it. But, how would you say Nigerians actually coped and managed with the year 2024?
Well, thanks once again for having me in the newsroom. Let me first of all commend the resilience of Nigerians for their ability to be able to withstand the struggles that comes along with the economic hardship being experienced in the country today. You see, it's like Nigerians, the people of Nigeria I'm talking about, it's like they have a kind of a shocker and absorber, a kind of thick skin that they tend to develop against any circumstance,
any condition, any situation
they find themselves. And that is one major factor that enables people to withstand the hardship up to this moment. And then another thing is that their ability to cope with the situation also has to do with the hope of better days ahead. You see, like the president in his media chat did assure that better days are ahead of us. Especially, he even promised that as soon as we enter 2025, we begin to see the dividends of. Maybe it is as a result of this expression of hope from here and there that sustained people up to this moment. But there is no doubt that there is a lot of hardship.
Thank you. Let's not go from one sector to another. Let's look at food, for instance. In the year winding up, there are so many things ordinary Nigerians are forgotten about, or we just not think about, eating. But when you want to prepare your soup, and you cannot buy meat, you cannot buy chicken, you cannot even buy fish.
Even the pepper you'll be able to buy will not be enough for you.
So people now think of what we call in our parlance, soya. And before you know it, people had started talking about how proteinous
it is.
And if you go to the home of 100 average Nigerians in Osogbo, for instance, today, you will see soya in more than 60 pot soups. That is it. So that is a way that Nigerians
is to say that people often resort to alternatives.
And there was a time when the federal government, through the state government, gave us maize. And you know what many of us did with the maize? Yes, just we took the maize home, gave to our wives, okay, go and grind them, buy a Congo or two of lafu.
Yes.
cassava flour, white one, mix it, and it looks like semovita.
Yes.
That is it. So these are the things you never thought
put
of.
few ones in the water.
To make
ferment it
for
for 3 days, then take it to the grinder. That is the country part.
With all these, Nigerians have continued to survive.
Yes.
And one thing I love Nigeria for in the year, the year going out is that even though we were pushed here and there to protest,
Yes.
to burn things down, to make the country ungovernable for the leaders, 90% of Nigerians said no. There is no other place we can call our spot world but Nigeria. If everything crumbles on the leadership, we can all rush down to Ghana.
Yeah.
We can't go to Cameroon. We can't go to neighboring the Republic or what have you.
And that is to tell you that people are more matured in their approach to issues.
Okay.
Unlike what we used to have in the past, whereby people would just go haywire, start burning house, burning tires on the street, and destroying properties and killing people. People have realized that there is no point in
destroying public
property. Let us make our grievances known to the government through peaceful means. And it has yielded results.
Okay.
Because through those protests, government have been able to realize that actually these people are suffering. And maybe that was what led to series of measures being taken by government both at the federal and state levels. So, the protest, I think, the protest led to the palliatives being distributed
yes,
to the people. And it also led to some other measures taken by the federal government and state government in order to cushion the effect
of the hardship
on the people.
Another one is now, we are now saying that the price of premium motor spirit is sliding down gradually from 1,200 to 1,100 to 1,030 naira. Now in some fueling stations, now 133 naira.
Less than 1,000.
Less than 1,000. The majority of the fueling stations.
But then now, assuming we have, the fuel prices, continue to go down like that, or we have it like maybe 700 or 600 naira per liter, do you think it will also affect the prices of goods and services that has gone up in this country?
Thank you so much. That is where
because that is the main
many Nigerians, that is where we are difficult. I cited an instance last week in the newsroom. Okay. I still want to cite it now.
Okay.
Yes, my wife deals in food stuff in any case.
Okay.
So there was a time I sent for 2 Congos of rice.
Okay.
She sold a Congo at 320 naira.
Okay.
So I went to her shop.
A Congo, 3,200.
3,200. Thank you, 3,200. So we were chatting, and she told me that she bought a bag then, I think at 95,000 naira.
Okay.
So she had no alternative but to sell a Congo at 3,200.
Okay.
So about 6 days after, I sent for another 3 Congos, and she sold it at 3,000.
Okay.
So I had to call her, Madam, what happened? She said, oh, I just bought a new box of rice at 90,000. So there is no way I could still be selling at 3,200. Less than 2 weeks after, that's about last week, I spent about 4 Congos, 2,800. I had to ask her, what is happening? Yes, the bags of rice are now being sold at 86,000 naira, depending on the wholesaler you buy from. I am not saying my wife is the only honest Nigerian. We have millions of traders.
We have so many of them that are honest.
And at the same time, we have millions of others too who believe they can become rich and millionaires through hardship inflicted on fellow Nigerians. That is just it.
What we will have to do is just to be appealing to them that whenever they watch the situation of the fuel price
coming down,
they should also try as much as possible. And when the prices are coming down from where they are sourcing their goods and services from, they should also be lenient with people that will be buying their markets.
Another one is many people thought so many children would be left on the street, will be sent back to the street, that many parents will not be able to send their children to school. But it has not been so. The children have continued to go to school.
Yes, you see, there's always a way out of every situation. There's always a way. You know, God is there. I believe that there are certain forces, unseen forces, even beyond our knowledge. There are certain forces that are operating in this Nigeria. You know, that force tends to provide ways out of no ways. Whenever we think that this thing is too difficult, how will I be able to do this?
And the way will just open.
It will just open.
That is it.
You just find out that what you think that is not possible for you to do, it will just become possible, just like that. And you too, you won't be able to explain how it happens. So you see, with God, that is you see, as a faithful person, we used to say that with God all things are possible.
Another one is this. There was a time somebody said, people no longer build houses. And 2 or 3 people took the person. What do you mean? It's about priority.
No, it's because that person doesn't visit new sites.
New sites, exactly. That is what some people told her. Visit new sites, you see teachers. You see even see other riders building houses. It's about priority.
It's about priority.
I and my wife and my children can decide to be taking Gary Park for the next 1 year. We want to complete our side. And at the same time, I can decide that with my wife we will be taking rice, bread, fried egg and all about that. And I won't mind whether I spend the next 3 or 4 years in a rented apartment. So it's about what? Like you said, it's about priority. Visit new sites, you see people committing so much. Another one, is something happened a couple of days ago in Ibadan. So, young people dying because of it happened in Ibadan, it happened in Abuja, it happened in Anambra. But one thing I want to say is this: not all the people who died in the stampede are actually poor people. Many Nigerians died because of greed.
Well, the thing is that
greed.
See, talking about the stampede in which many people died,
in the north, in the east, in the south.
We had one in Abuja.
Another in Anambra.
Shortly after that Abuja, we had another one at Anambra. You see, the thing is that, let's first of all pray for those that died in the stampede.
God bless their souls.
May their soul rest in peace. But the thing is that there are 2 ways at which I looked at the situation. First, it shows the level of poverty in the country, the level of hunger in the country. Then it also shows the level of greediness of our people. Because I want to believe that not everybody that go to that place not all of them doesn't have
what to eat
at home.
That is it.
Not all of them doesn't have things to celebrate Christmas and New Year with. Do you understand? But you see, the nature of most of us in Nigeria is that if you have something, you still want to have more. Even with that you have not exhausted it, you still want to have more.
Even among elites.
Yes.
Even among the educated ones.
That is it. That is it.
So which means the politicians that we blame are even a reflection of us. How do I mean?
They are a reflection of the society now.
Because you visit the house of a politician in January, you meet or you find 3 cars in his garage. By September, you visit, the number of cars has risen to 9 or 8. You want to ask questions, what do you want to do with all these cars? That is it. So you have a bag of rice to sell and you still go to collect a Congo being given to those who do not have. That's another thing with Nigeria.
Very unfortunate. I just sympathize with the organizers because they are the one now behind the front of the fallout of the.
Of course. And another factor which helped Nigeria in the outgoing year is the fact that many of us believe in giving. Yes, so many people believe in giving and they actually give out.
Actually, yes.
They didn't have to be politicians.
They didn't have to. You see,
They are
the
clerics.
thing is, naturally, we Nigerians, we have this kind of tendency to be able to help our neighbors when we have, you give to who that doesn't have. It is in our nature anyway. I mean, we always try to be our brother's keeper. And that is one of the factors that actually, sustain people through the hardship of the outgoing year. So without that, I don't know what will have happened to many.
And let us look at the lessons. Yes, we have learned during the hardship in the outgoing year. In my home now, I have learned that you cannot just give more than enough to my child.
Yes.
Or to any of them. It's no longer give to a child the exact quantity,
exact
portion that will sustain the child. And if I have any left over, I will punish you. Don't waste food.
Yes. There are so many
lessons. If you cannot consume everything, tell your mother, please, it's all right, it's enough. 2 spoons, 3 spoons. That's lesson number 1.
No more time for waste food.
Lesson number 2 that we have learned is that before now, when fuel was 180, 160, at the weekend, I can just say, oh, this is 11 o'clock. Let me visit a friend at the clinic. You just don't go anywhere now.
If it is not important,
it is not even important. It is not very, very important.
You see, the thing is that before the current hardship that we're talking about, to me, Nigerians are somewhat wasteful in their lifestyle, in their eating habits,
almost everything. Even in the manner we build houses.
Yes.
I cannot imagine somebody with a wife and 2 children building a room building a house of 12 rooms.
You see,
that's wasted.
You even see some people after eating, drinking, and my friend, let's go and play Adeleke. Let's just go there. We will just go and turn
about and come back to Osogbo. Let's see how many minutes it will take us.
The resources that will be wasted along the line. All those things are no longer there. People have realized the need to manage what
you have.
Everybody has now turned to manager of his own affairs.
So that's a big lesson.
It's a very big lesson.
Another one is that the moment IBDC or what have you partitioned Nigeria into bands, band A, band B, band C. Yes. So you just don't see anybody going out and living all the box.
Yes.
By 6:30, you have to switch off everything, because you know how much it will cost you to buy unit of electricity that will sustain you even for a week. Somebody will say, I am very sure we are getting there, because I can. You too will find out that when we're going home at night after the news, as you approach the solar light, it will brighten up.
Yes.
But as you move away, it will dim. Now, it happens in advanced countries. Nigeria will go there. The moment you enter a passage, the light will switch on automatically. And the moment you leave the passage or even your room, the light will go off automatically.
And that
so you enter your room, you don't have to touch your switch.
And that kind of innovation will still help people more in order to be able to manage power supply.
So nobody will be shouting at you, NEPA, come to a radio station, EPA, no. Even if you refuse to switch off, the bulb will go up by itself. So there is this
automatic.
It is automatic. Yes, I think there is this term in physics. I think I have forgotten now. So it works with the system. The moment you go out of your room, the bulb goes off. At the moment you enter your room, the bulb comes on automatically. So I believe, yes, Nigeria
will also
get there. So you don't have to be shouting on people to stop. When you are going out, switch this off. So no. Either you do it or not, the system will do it, by itself. And I think we'll quickly leave that in Nigeria.
But I believe we will get there. We will soon get there.
Really? Yes. So many lessons that we have learned here in Nigeria. Then we parents, we have also learned a lesson that let me register my ward or my child at a school where the school fees per term is 200,000 naira. That is where they are being taught very well. It is no longer anything now. you have to, okay, which of the schools is closer to where I live? Because you have to calculate. For me to send my child from here to Okefia, to go to come is about 1,200. In a week is 6,000. In a month is 24,000. In a term of 3 months is about 72,000.
Not to talk of school fees.
Not to talk of school fees. So how much am I earning? And when the child is going to school, I have to give up, okay, keep this in your pocket in case you want to buy something. So which means I will have to spend all my salaries to send a child to primary school. And you have 2, you have 3, you have 4. So these are some of the lessons we have learned.
In the process.
Another one is nobody can come to me and say, I lost my father in October. I want to do this thing. So Ankara 10,000, remembrance, Ankara 12,000. So many lessons that we have now. So we also we just want to pray, as my colleagues have said, and as the president assured, that the year 2025 is going to be a better year for us.
One of those things that the government also did that is worth commendation has to do with this free ride of the people.
That
was introduced towards for the Yuletide and the New Year.
Yes.
The federal government did its own, our
the state government also did. Yes, that is it. And this service too.
It went a long way to push, to encourage people to come home and celebrate with their loved ones.
Really, with their loved ones.
These are some of the things. These are some of the factors that sustain people.
And then there is this CNG buses.
CNG vehicles too. For the areas where they are in operation.
Yes.
At least
they spend less on fuel that they would have spent on fuel.
So many factors have been, so many measures have been put in place, but as time goes on, we all begin to feel the impact.
Positively.
On a larger scale.
And finally, we have to thank the state governor, Senator Adeleke, the NLC, and allied unions for making it sure that the new minimum wage becomes operational. You have received yours?
Yes.
You have received yours?
I want to.
So kudos to the government. It is not just a minute money. It is something you can be proud of, that I am a civil servant.
Yes, we really appreciate that. It's a reflection of his promise.
And I can imagine if I can now be receiving about over 100% of what I used to earn, I cannot imagine what federal workers will be doing.
Those one will be preparing sack to collect your
On 23-24, if you pass through the Bono market in Osogbo, the road median was full of foul. By December 25, everything was managed. That is it. So people now be saying Nigerians do not believe in God. You say there is no money, but go. I passed through the Bono market today. Hold up everywhere. At just 48 hours away from the New Year.
I see people are still preparing for ahead of the
New Year. And that is the effect of the new salaries being paid.
New salaries being paid. But yes, you are right. You are right. So we have to appreciate them and this fulfilling their promise.
And as they have fulfilled their promise, we workers too, to whom much is given, so much is expected. Let us work to really show that, okay, we say thank you to the government. Let us make sure that what we do commensurate with the salaries we are earning. We have to thank the governor by doing more. And the president has also said that the minimum wage will be reviewed every 3 years. So this 2024, so by 2027, there is going to be a review. By 2030, there is going to be a review. So there is no way workers won't be happy. There is no way you won't be energized to do more.
I just pray that the federal government will be able to sustain that promise.
I don't think they are going to call the money is there.
The money has always been there before.
That is it. So if you just have to
why is it that we had 30,000 naira minimum for so many years before the
that is it. So we have the president who has the willpower to say I want to do this. And we have the NS leadership that also say no, we have the money to pay 250,000 minimum wage.
That is the political will on the part of the government.
Exactly.
That's the political will. Well, we appreciate them all, both the federal and the state government. So,
The curtains drop at this moment on in the newsroom for today. A Happy New Year in advance. Oluwatoyin Yusuf is my name. Join our colleagues tomorrow, same time, same station, 4 in the newsroom. I'm from Coyote.
thank you very much for having me today.
I have the pleasure for hosting.
Yeah, happy New Year to you, my friends.
Thank you so very much.
Mondays to Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. In the newsroom, you can't afford to miss it.
The show, a breathtaking drama. The location, a river in Africa. The main protagonists, crocodiles. Supporting actors involved, everything Africa's wildlife has to offer. The expansive stage of the Masai Mara in Kenya is an ideal location for some stunning combats. Heavyweight conflicts. And touching family scenes. The show centers on the age-old theme of the hunted and the hunters, life and death. But none of the other protagonists can match this one, the killer that comes out of the water.